Welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell from the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before we get started, I'd like to thank TV47, Chris, everyone who helps us put on our program. We appreciate it very much. Joining me today is Corporal Angela Tait from the Sylacauga Police Department. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Right. And we're going to talk about something I bet most of us have experienced, which is scamming. Maybe we haven't been scammed, but we've gotten the email, the text, the things like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We probably could talk for days on it. I know there's a lot of it going around. But Angela, tell me about yourself first before we get started.
Well, I'm Corporal Angela Tait with Sylacauga Police Department. I've worked with this department for 8 years. Okay. I have been in law enforcement for over 15 years. So I've been all over and everything. I enjoy helping people is what I love to do.
Wonderful.
And be able to make a difference in some lives when I can.
Yeah.
I oversee the Project Lifesaver program for Sylacauga.
Yes.
Which is a program that helps people with cognitive disorders, and such as dementia, autism, Alzheimer's, and it's for people who are prone to life-threatening behavior of wandering. So if they wander away, we have a bracelet, and it, we're able to use an antenna and be able to get a frequency off and that and be able to find them.
That sounds like a whole other show we could do sometime. I'd love to do that, to talk about that. That's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you coming here, and I have to tell you, you came to one of our story times and taught to preschool, which is quite a challenge because they're little, but I wanted them to see a policeman. We had blue story times, so I want you to come, and I appreciate you coming and sharing with them.
They enjoyed it. They were good.
They did. They had a great time.
Too.
Talked about safety, and you brought them some really neat stickers and things like that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of them with the police hats.
Yes. So I do appreciate you doing that. They had a great time. Now we're going to talk about some grown-up things, scamming. When I say online scams or cell phone scams, that's such a broad topic.
It is.
But what are some general things we can do to be safe?
Well, using your cell phone, you got to keep yourself safe on it and everything. So it can expose you to risks if you're not very careful.
Okay.
So you need to stay both digitally and physically while using your phone.
Okay.
There's some flyers and stuff that I created.
Yes.
Use strong passwords and biometrics, face recognition, things like that, and avoid using pens like 1, 2, 3, 4, or birth date. I know everything wants a password, so if you keep a book with passwords, keep that protected.
That's true. Keep it in a safe place.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of them are doing the two-factor authentication.
Oh, yes.
And so that's a good thing. I know it's a hassle. Takes you a little bit longer. At work we have that, and we have to use our phones and be able to say, yes, it's us. But it helps you and saves you from something happening.
And that means when it's it's like if I'm signing into a computer at work that I don't normally use, it'll say it wants another verification, I guess, and it comes up on my phone. I have to verify, yes, that's me.
Sometimes it's to your email or your phone.
Okay,
Yep.
Which is good, because if it's not me, then I want to know that too.
Exactly.
Two-factor verification.
Always keep your software updated on your cell phones. Okay. I know it's a hassle. It usually pops up at the wrong time when you're in the middle of something.
Right.
Or low on battery.
Why is that so important?
Because they're always, the Trojans and the scams and all of that are always updating.
Okay.
So our systems have to be updated to keep from getting.
I want the latest safety precautions.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, well that makes sense.
It's kind of like on your computer updates that you do.
Yes.
So,
okay.
When you use public Wi-Fi, don't do anything personal.
Oh,
like
Banking.
banking.
Yeah.
You know, anything that someone could get, your social security, your address, anything like that, you really don't want to do on a public Wi-Fi. You know, so like if you're at a hotel, you can use their Wi-Fi, you know, the coffee shop or something like that. So try to keep from doing personal stuff.
Would it be someone like sitting next to me that could get it,
No,
or it could be
it's still
anywhere?
through the internet and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a hard one now.
It is. It
Public
is
Wi-Fi
sometimes. Yeah.
everywhere. Yes. That's important.
Install only apps that are from trusted websites
Okay.
or sources, basically.
Yes,
And
yes.
stuff. And be aware of phishing scams. So that's what everybody's getting a lot of on their cell phones.
Yes.
Recently, we've had one like with a bank
Okay.
where it says, you know how you'll get a text or an email that says your bank, a certain amount has been processed,
Yes.
and if you disagree with it, to contact the bank. Well, this new scam is to click the link.
Okay.
So what this link does, if you click it, it sends you to that bank for you to sign in. Well, now you've just entered and let a Trojan or a source come
Yes.
into your system. And so now when you log in,
They
they've got
can
all
get-
your information.
Oh, that's so scary.
So watch like emails, when you get emails. If it's something you don't know, look,
Right.
hover above it. And if you look at the email address,
Yes.
what most emails are what from the company that it's
Right.
from.
Yes.
So or have misspellings, stuff like that.
I catch that a lot. A
Yep.
text or an email, if they haven't used correct grammar or misspellings, maybe it's from another country, someone who's not as familiar with English.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or they're just sending out a mass one and
Okay.
yeah.
Doing it
So that's what
quickly.
they do is they send out different scams
Yes.
and they do it in mass
Okay.
so that somebody's going to end up clicking on
Yes.
it and get scammed. And so it's not that they project to a certain age group or something.
Okay.
It'll
Go out to thousands of people
uh-huh.
and just hoping somebody will fall for it.
Yep. Exactly.
Wow.
And
That's,
stuff.
well, listen, we're going to pause for a commercial
Okay.
break, and we'll come right back and talk some more with Corporal Angela Tait.
A funeral service represents a family's final farewell to their loved ones. Knowing this, we go beyond what is expected to ensure the ceremony is beautiful and memorable, a truly fitting tribute to that special life. We invite you to visit us to meet our staff and tour our renovated facility complete with a new dining area and catering services. We've been serving the people of this area for over 40 years, and we think that you'll be pleased to find that making lasting impressions remains our first priority. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.
Bonanza, the famous Western television series, is now on WOIL TV 47. Join Little Joe, Hoss, Adam, and Ben Cartwright on the Ponderosa every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Fist fighting, chicken chasing, gunslinging, and more. Join us for Coffee and Bonanza every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on TV 47.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Corporal Angela Tait from the Sylacauga Police Department. We're talking about online scamming, cell phones, a lot of things, and we've already decided we're not going to get through all of this, so we're going to see what is next. We were talking about getting texts and emails and things like that with the misspellings, and I think of it being people from other countries or they get in a hurry. Why is it so hard to catch scammers? Is it a lot of time because They're from Russia or somewhere like
Yeah.
that.
Scammers are an international problem.
Okay.
And it makes it extremely difficult to be able to locate them
Yeah.
or to charge them. And in the end, it's all about money, is exactly what it is. It doesn't matter if it's $20, that's $20 to them, you know, or more than that. So our local police, us,
Yes.
we don't have the resources
Right.
to be able to track this down. That's why we tell everybody to contact the FTC, Federal Trade
Okay,
Commission.
okay.
So if you get scammed, other than doing a report with us, is to let the Federal Trade Commission know, contact your credit bureau agencies, all three of them, so that they can start tracking and see if anything else happens.
Okay.
But it's a cyber crime. So that's where you'll get with your bank or something, and the bank can get with the FBI and stuff like that
Okay.
to go from there.
So if we have been scammed, we start with you guys, or maybe.
Well,
it
contact
depends on
who
yeah,
it is,
contact.
like if it's your bank,
Right.
if it's the lottery stuff that they talk about.
Okay.
There's been scams where it says you've won all this money, we're an hour from your house, you know, we need you to pay this amount. Go get some, they want you to go get the gift cards.
Yes, I've gotten those.
So the thing is once you give them the codes to those gift cards, they're useless to you,
Yeah.
and you can't get the money back.
Right. Right.
So the way, like when you see about the lotto, they always take the taxes out. If you're going to win something, they're going to take the money out first.
Yes.
So don't think you have to pay anything,
Okay.
you know.
That is just so scary. I know, especially the scams that say you owe
Yes.
something and the IRS is coming to get you or something like that.
The newest one is a toll bridge one.
Oh.
That we've had quite a few people come down to the police department and ask about it.
Yeah.
It says that you owe money for a toll bridge and you're going to have a warrant. That's a scam
Right.
and stuff. Some of them are, they say they're with a law enforcement company, agency, or a group, and that they're trying to collect money. You know, we wouldn't do something like that.
Right.
You know, there are, you know, some groups that do stuff, but not like that.
Okay. What I've heard, probably from another police officer several years ago, is like if I get an email or a text wanting me to donate to a certain agency, if you want to donate to them, don't do it through that.
Yep.
Go to a separate
Yep.
a computer and look up that agency.
There are tools that you can take, like the email address, and put it into theirs,
Oh.
and it'll tell you if it's been listed as a scam.
Oh,
So
that's
if you look on your
great.
internet, there are tools and
Okay.
apps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting where I don't trust anything. I got
I know.
something in the mail and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is good or not, you know, having to spend all this time researching it and things like that.
I had
but-
one from PayPal
Oh,
that said all this stuff, and I just closed my PayPal account, but it was a scam.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just, they're getting very creative, aren't they?
They
the
are.
Scammers.
They are. And it just, any way they can get, like I said, those mass emails,
Yeah.
texts, and somebody's going to fall for it.
Right. And it may only be $5 or $6, but if 1,000 people
Yep.
pay the $5 or $6,
Yep. But we've had
Definitely.
where elderly, they get scammed and they $5,000-$6,000. You know, this is their life savings
yes, yes.
and stuff.
And I think of people like, well, my grandparents, of course, are not here, but they were more trusting. You know, if somebody told you something, it probably was true, or you shook hands on it. And
Yeah.
that's not true today, though.
Nope, not anymore.
Oh. Do scammers prey on the older people, on seniors, or?
To an extent, but they also, there was a study by Experian that talked about the 18 to 44-year-olds.
Oh, that age group.
And
Wow,
that's, that scam is basically about jobs. There has been a scam where it says, you know, we can get you a job, work from home, stuff like that, or it's where you're looking for a job on a certain website.
Yes.
And it'll say, well, we need you to pay this. So you have to really verify things anymore.
I bet you do. I've heard too, and I think you probably have this in here in my notes, if there's a sense of urgency, like you have to pay this today, what is that?
That's to get you to do it quickly and not think about it, and to realize that it's a scam.
Okay, so a sense of urgency,
Yep.
sympathy,
Yep.
something bad has happened, we need you to give, we need you to help.
There's one also where someone will call and they use the voice and say that to like a grandmother or great grandmother and say, this is your grandson, I'm in jail, I need bond money. It's crazy what they're coming up with nowadays.
It's so sad to me. It's very sad to me.
Yeah.
Gosh, well, I tell you, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more about online scamming with Corporal Angela Tait.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
The Maxi VZ Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxi VZ Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Great. What am I going to do now?
Time to visit Brown's Auto Collision.
No problem at all. We've contacted your insurance company and we can get you back into original condition right away. And I just want to remind you that all of our work is covered by a lifetime warranty. We're done.
Wow, that was easy and looks great.
Brown's Auto Collision.
Where quality is no accident.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Corporal Angela Tait from the Sylacauga Police Department about online scamming. This is fascinating to me. I'm learning. All the notes you sent me, I'm going to keep and share with my friends. But I did want to cover cell phone safety tips for kids.
Yes.
That's so important.
Well, they need to stick to the approved apps.
Okay.
And the parents or the guardian need to set controls on them to where they can't get to certain things.
Okay.
Now, if you don't understand how to go through the cell phone, go to your local cell phone service,
Okay.
and they'll show you how to do it. They're more than
Okay.
willing to help you out on that.
So you can block things
Yes,
from kids.
keep them
Okay.
from getting too far on some things and stuff. Get them the kid-friendly versions of YouTube Kids instead of regular YouTube
Yes.
and stuff.
So much on YouTube. and
Oh,
it's-
yes,
so
definitely.
much.
Make sure you talk to your kids, not to talk to strangers online. Don't care how friendly they are. Explain it. You know, not everybody's as nice as they seem.
Yes, sad to say, it's true.
Not to respond to unknown messages or unknown phone calls. The same for
Okay.
adults.
Yes,
You don't know
that's
who it
true.
is, don't answer it. Let them leave a message. You
If they
know?
really want to get in touch with you, they'll leave a message.
Exactly. If something a stranger does try to talk to you, talk to an adult, talk to your parent, guardian, or something, and let them know so that they can stop that real quick. And make sure that they know not to give out their full name, their address, what school they go to, or some people, their school uniform, something that shows where they're at.
Okay.
Yeah. I know everybody on Facebook wants to put pictures of themselves and everything else, you know, but you do have to be aware people, you know.
They're looking.
Yep.
And I think if you say, you know, oh, I play soccer for whatever high school, well, then they know you have practice. I mean, they can find out you have practice and where you are at certain times. That's just it's very scary. Oh.
And think before you post. Be kind online, you know.
Yes.
I
love that.
If you wouldn't say it in person, don't post it.
Oh, that's true. It's so hard, I know, for
it
some
is.
people, but that's
you
true.
know, we get a lot of them, the bullying and mean behavior to people and stuff. So, yeah.
Gosh. Treat others with respect.
Yes.
I love that. Yes, and report. So if they have bullying or mean behavior, just report to a parent, a counselor, a teacher, or a guardian,
exactly.
or something like that.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, we talked a little bit about social media, how everybody likes to post everything on Facebook because we want everybody to know what we're doing, what our kids are doing. What are some safety tips with that?
Social media can pose significant dangers.
Yeah.
With the cyberbullying, it can cause mental health issues, addiction to stuff. I mean, how often do you catch yourself looking at, you know, constantly and not doing other things you need to do?
Just scrolling, not really looking for anything, just wasting time.
Yeah. The information out there, not all of it's true, you know. And it can have profound effects on people, especially adolescents, children and stuff. And it causes anxiety to a lot of kids, depression, low self-esteem because they're being bullied or, you know, they're saying you got to look this way or act this way or dress this way.
That's so scary.
It's a breeding ground for, like I said, cyberbullying, online harassment.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people that say on Facebook, you know, this person's saying stuff. And that's the other thing too, is you might have your friends on your Facebook and they get your information, they get mad at somebody and they log into your account and write mean things, you know. So we have a real hard time prosecuting with Facebook stuff.
Oh.
Because of that. Because anybody could get into your account. A scammer.
Yes.
Causing, you know, someone trying to cause some issues or get you to do something. Like we talked about, it's an addictive nature.
It is.
And stuff, and the usage patterns and how it, you know, interferes with your daily life. Personal data. Being able to give out all your personal, because like on Facebook, you write where you work, what you've been doing, who's your family.
Oh, that's true.
You know, you write, because they'll have section where it says all your family members and stuff like that.
It makes me kind of want to just delete my Facebook again. But there's a safe way.
There is, you know, you just have to be aware of what you're doing and stuff. And like I said, it spreads misinformation and leads to confusion and stuff on what is true and what isn't.
It does.
Yep.
What about cloning and hacking Facebook accounts? That seems to be, I don't know if it's a big thing now, but every once in a while, as I'm on Facebook scrolling, you know, oh, my account's been hacked, please don't respond.
Yeah. It's to get your personal information. Like I said, you enter all your information. When you set up an account, you have to enter personal information. So it's kind of like the scammer. They're getting in and being able to collect all the data, and then they can go and get a loan, you know, different stuff that they're able to go further with.
In your name.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Ruins, I mean, it may take your money, it may
ruin your
credit score, things like that.
Exactly.
Gosh,
and like we just said, it's, you know, so that they can do other scams and stuff, or contact your friends, or like I said, call your grandma and say, you know, I need bail money.
Yes. Oh, I've heard, one lady said, how did they know that my grandson calls me grandmama or whatever, it was a specific grandmother name.
Yeah.
How did they know that?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was online. Maybe it was
They
on
put
Facebook.
on Facebook, Meemaw said,
right.
I did this with Meemaw today.
Oh, that's so scary.
And the fake accounts, will trick your friends into installing that malware.
Oh, that's true.
Until you know that it's been hacked.
Oh, it doesn't take long, does it?
Nope.
I mean, you may not know you've been hacked for a day or two or
Exactly.
something, even
Yep.
just a few hours. Gosh.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I know this is something that's happened to us at our church. Our pastor, I know my pastor's email address. And I'll get an email from him that is very close to that email address, but not exactly correct.
Yeah.
One time it was asking for gift cards or things like that. Now, I know that wasn't him, but the first question I was like, oh, how can I help someone? Because I just glanced at the email address.
Yeah, see, most of the time you just look at the name.
Right.
And you see it's a friend, relative, or something. That's why always look at that email address. There's going to be something about it that isn't right.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if we're scammed, we need to get in touch with the agency and then get in touch with you and file a report.
If you need to do a report, yep.
All right.
A lot of times the banks want a report.
Yes.
Just so that they have the documentation.
Okay. And the faster we do it, the better.
The faster you stop it, yep.
Yes, gosh. I know I've stopped my credit card or my debit card, put a stop on that. Actually, I learned how you can lock that. Anyway,
there you go. There's been another one with like Microsoft. Watch this one that they say that there's something wrong with your computer and they need to get into it. And it's, from working in business, you have an IT person that usually goes in, I call them the ghost, into your computer, and they take over and do stuff. Well, don't fall for it,
Because from wherever they are, they can get control of your computer.
Yeah, if you let them get control of your computer, and then they've got all your information.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, our time is almost up, but I feel like we could talk for days on this. It's very fascinating. So all of you, please be very careful. And thank you, Corporal Angela Tait. I appreciate you coming in today.
Welcome.
That's great. And we'll have to do this again sometime.
Okay.
So please be careful. Thank you for joining us on Library Connection. Bye-bye.